Hi there guys, DCRS here, and today I'll be doing a discussion video relating to the Gem-Knight OTK and FTK that has been going around in Duel Links ever since it got since the new Gem-Knight support that got released in Burning Nova. Now this specific deck in general, this deck can OTK and FTK on turn 1 or turn 2 depending on how you open. The deck is pretty, I guess you could say, consistent to inconsistent in terms of its playability. What I mean by that is, if you open up Grassl Arena and you have a decent amount of Gem-Knight cards in your hand, and you mill the right cards in your graveyard, you can pretty much OTK and FTK your opponent there. But that depends on how you mill, because the milling part is very, very important, and it's very, very sacky. So yeah. So this video I'll be doing a step-by-step guide, or I'll be be showing you how the deck works and giving you a step-by-step on how to FTK and OTK your opponent, and breaking it down, and also explaining what needs to be done for the specific OTK and OTK if necessary. So let's begin with the discussion. So in the new set Burning Nova, we have the Gem-Knight cards. So we got these cards specifically. I'll just show you real quick. Let me just minimize the left hand panel. So in this case we have, let me just hide Jaden real quick if I can find him. There he is. Okay, in the new set we have, for the OTK values, one Gem-Knight Lady Brilliant Diamond. You only need one in the deck. It's really hard to summon since you need 3 of it, but you can summon that pretty easily by by using materials that can replace themselves, I guess you can say. So there are other cards such as, let's see, we have Lady Lapis Lazuli, which is an FTK type of card, and also we have the other one that's not in this set, is Gem-Knight Master Diamond. Those 3 cards in general create an OTK and FTK, but since we have like cards such as Gem-Knight Obsidian, I knew this card would be very, very strong in Duel Links once it gets released. So now it's released, and now Gem-Knights can actually do a lot of stuff. And also Gem-Knight Fusion. This card is a recurable polymerization and is very, very strong in Gem-Knights. Basically, if they can pull this off successfully, they can swarm the field with a lot of future monsters very, very quickly. So let's go into the deck discussion, or should I say the deck replays. I recorded some duels. Believe me, this took a long time to do because I keep opening with bad hands. That's the problem with this FTK OTK type of deck. It's somewhat consistent, yet it's not consistent due to the fact that you need Grassl Arena. Otherwise, the deck will not work. That's its main number 1 card. Grassl Arena is how it starts its FTK OTKs. But even if it gets limited, like in the next ban list for example, it won't solve any issues because people just use the Destiny Draw skill just to get Grassl Arena into their hand, and it will turn into an OTK rather than FTK. So this is some replays I recorded via using characters, via bones, and also for some reason I tried to record another replay but it didn't work. So I don't know. Anyway, let's go into the replay step-by-step guide. Now in this example, I'm going second, but in all cases you can go first or second with this. If you go second, it's a turn into more of an OTK rather than FTK. But if you do it to be a turn 1, it's an FTK because that's a first turn kill. So with this type of hand, we've opened up with a Grassl Arena, a Supervise. Now the build I've specifically made, or I've seen, is using the Supervise skill. Now Supervise is a very, very strong card used in Geminis. But since most of the Gem-Knights are Geminis, the good ones, they can actually use their effects on turn 1 rather than being normal summoned. The Supervise is a very strong card in this build, and you can actually do a lot of things in this specific turn. So with Eolite, you can actually, or Eolite, I don't know how to pronounce it. Basically, it's Gem-Knight effect. Says that once per turn, you can banish a Gem-Knight monster from your graveyard and target a Gem-Knight card in your graveyard, other than, well, something else basically, and banish the first target and add it to your hand, the second target. So let's go into the first step of the replay. So my opponent, well, this is against an AI, so it doesn't really matter too much at this point, but this is where everything starts. So now I activate Grasshopper Greener, mill 10 cards from the top of the deck. Now the cards I mill are a Gem-Knight Fusion, which is very, very important. You need to mill a Gem-Knight Fusion if you don't open up a new hand, which I did not. Then I milled a Amber, an Obsidian, which is pretty good if you do mill it, because with Amber you can actually get back Obsidian later on, which I'll be showing you in this replay or one of the future replays. And milled another Obsidian, another Gem-Knight Fusion, which is alright, doesn't really matter too much. So let's go. I use Gem-Knight Fusion's effect to banish the Obsidian. Now there's a reason why I banished the Obsidian in the first place. It's very, very important that you use for Amber's effect later on. So I grab back the Gem-Knight Fusion, and then I summon out the Eolite and equip it with Supervise. Now this will allow me to have Supervise effect. So basically have its effect to use its effect to add a Gem-Knight card back to your hand. So we're going to use Eolite's effect to banish. I don't know why I banished Amber, but oh well. Oh, I must have thought of the head, just using Obsidian first, so I wanted to get more resources rather than banish stuff, because I think, no, I don't have no Amber. I don't know why I did that. Oh well, it doesn't matter, it's still an FTK, OTK anyway. Well, technically it's an OTK, not an FTK. So now I grab back the Obsidian from my hand. There's two ways of getting it. You can either banish one of your Obsidians and grab back the Amber. It works both ways, so you can either banish Obsidian to grab back the Amber using Eolite's effect. Either way, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter that way. So, but I think what I wanted to do in this starting hand was to use Supervise's effect and abuse Obsidian and Supervise at the same time, so I can special summon 3 monsters in one turn. So I'll use the Gem-Knight Fusion right now to fusion summon my targets, Eolite, the Obsidian, and the Sardonyx in my hand. Doesn't matter what Gem-Knight it has to be, it just needs to be another Gem-Knight monster. So in this case, Supervise and Obsidian will summon 2 monsters out on the field, whilst I'm summoning out Lady Master Diamond. So now both effects will trigger. Also, it doesn't matter which way you summon these things, as long as you discard the Obsidian, and then you summon Lapis Lazuli with Lady's Lapis Lazuli. Yeah, bit of a tongue tie there. You can go both ways. It'll work both ways. Doesn't matter which way you start off with. But preferably you should start off with Lady Lazuli first, due to the fact that if your opponent it goes first and they set a floodgate and stuff like that, just to stop your monsters from summoning, that is an easy way to get around Lady's Lapis Lazuli. So now I'm going to target these 2 cards. So yeah, Supervise target this one, and this one will Obsidian will target the Sardonyx. It doesn't matter if it's a Sardonyx or not, because we haven't normal summoned yet. So summon these 2 out, and then I'll use Gem-Knight Fusion's effect to banish the Obsidian to grab back the Gem-Knight Fusion. Now since I have 2 special summon monsters on the field, this will make Lady's Lapis Lazuli more stronger from the effect burn. So I'll use these 2 to summon out Lady Lapis Lazuli. Now we use Lady Lapis Lazuli. Yeah, Lady Lapis. I'll just say Lady Lapis to make it more simple. So we use Lady Lapis to mill anything you want. The first one, when you summon out with Lady Lapis, does not matter, but preferably you want to mill out a what's the name? You want to mill. I didn't mill it yet. Okay, you want to mill this specific card, the Lazuli. Since it's Lady Lapis and Lapis Lazuli, they're 2. I think they're 2 sisters. So, in lore or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, you mill out the Lazuli to grab back any normal monster in your graveyard. Now, since Gem-Knights are counted as normal monsters in the graveyard, Gem-Knights, not Gem-Knights. Well, technically they're both Gem-Knights and Gem-Knights. Some of them are. So you can grab back a Gem-Knight to your hand that's a normal monster Gem-Knight related. So we're gonna use Azuli to grab back a Sardonyx. Doesn't have to, it could be anything, no monster related. Yeah, Gem-Knight. So now we grab that to their hand, and now we use Lady Diamond. Since we already did 1500 damage, we'll send Lady Lapis Lazuli to the graveyard. Lady Lapis, anyway, summon out Master Diamond. Now Master Diamond's effect will activate, banish the Lady Lapis to gain its name and also its effects. So Gem-Knight Master Diamond says must first be special fusion summoned, not special summoned. Well, either way, it's the same thing. Fusion summoned. Must first be fusion summoned. This card gains 100 attack for each gem monster in the graveyard. Once per turn, you can banish a level 7 or lower Gem-Knight fusion monster from the graveyard. Until the end phase, it gains this effect. Now, keep in mind, this is not once per turn. And Lady Lapis Lazuli, oh god, I keep saying it. Lady Lapis. Since we banished Lady Lapis, it gains its name and also its effects. So this gets replaced with Lady Lapis' effect. So now we're going to use Master Diamond with Lady Lapis' effect to send a... Now this is very, very important what you send to the graveyard. So we're going to send out a Lady Lapis from the extra deck. Now how do we do that? Well, we use Lady Lapis' effect. So since it states that once per turn, well, it can only be special summon once per turn anyway, so once per turn you can send a Gem-Knight monster from your main deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each special summon monster on the field. We have 3 special summon monsters on the field, and this will make Master Diamond do 1500 damage. So now my opponent will only have like 1000 life points left. But here's the kicker: we can still go even further and OTK your opponent. So how do we do that? We use Gem-Knight Fusion to banish one of our Gem-Knight monsters. Doesn't matter which one it is because we have enough materials. So now we're going to use the Gem-Knight Fusion to Fusion Summon Vanilla Master Diamond. Now, since we sent a Master Diamond to the graveyard, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we also send a Lady Lapis from our extra deck to the graveyard. So now we can use Lady Lapis' effect. Well, I did use Gem-Knight Fusion for no reason. So now we banish it and activate Gem-Knight Master Diamond's effect to send a Gem-Knight from our deck to the graveyard and OTK for them for a game. So yeah, that's how you OTK with Gem-Knights if you use Supervise. So this is another replay. I think it's revolving around Supervise. So let's go into the replay real quick. The last replay is going to be a FTK type of deck video, well, replay video. So now we're going to use restart because we bricked. You do not want to open up 2 grass and 2 non-fusion type of targets. That would have been an okay hand with these 2 in your hand, but depending on what we mill with Grass Arena, it could turn out really bad. So since I used restart, I actually drew the perfect hand since I opened up with Supervise and Grass Arena, and I also milled 2 cards that are going to be very, very useful to us later on. So this is going to be turn 1, so now my opponent doesn't do anything. So turn 2, now I'm going to activate Grass to mill out 10 cards from the top of the deck. And I milled a Gem-Knight Fusion, which is very, very important, a Obsidian, a Lazuli, and some other Gem-Knight cards. Now we're going to use Lazuli's effect to add back a Lapis, since we needed to summon out the Lady Lapis turn 1. Oh, we milled 2 of them. We milled 2 Lazulis. Yeah, we did. So we'll grab back 2 of our Gem-Knights to our hand. And we have now 5 cards in our hand, which is really cool. So now we're going to use Gem-Knight Fusion to banish the Obsidian to grab back a Gem-Knight Fusion. So now we're going to use Supervise to equip to it. And now we're going to use it to add back another Lazuli to our hand. This is important due to the fact that we can grab back more resources. So this card is a Playmaker, and in playmaking terms. I don't know, I couldn't think of a word for it. So yeah, we're going to use Gem-Knight Fusion to use this one and this one. So we're going to use fuse Eolite and a Lady Lapis. Sorry, Lapis to summon out Lady Lapis. Now we're going to trigger out the Supervise to summon out the Eolite. If we had a Amber in the graveyard, we can actually do a lot more things, and we can grab back the obsidian that was banished. So now we're going to use summon back out Elite. Now, this is very important. We have not normal summoned this turn, so we can actually use Elite's effect again this turn, since it's not a hard monster turn. So we're going to use Fusion to banish one of our monsters. That's relatively not important at the time, to grab back the Gem-Knight Fusion. So now we're going to use another Gem-Knight Fusion to fuse out all three for the Lady Brilliant Diamond. Now these two Lazulis will trigger and grab back 2 normal monsters to our hand. This is just the backup scenario if you don't have a obsidian in your hand. So you can go both ways with this. You either have Lazulis and you can grab back resources from your Grass Ultrina and do a lot more plays. So now we have 3 special summon monsters, and now we can use Lazuli's effect to grab back 2 monsters. Oh, in this case 1. I think we only have 1 left in the grave. That's why I chose not to use the effect. So now we're going to use the effect of Burn by sending this to the graveyard. Since we have 3 monsters, so it'll do 1500 points of damage to our opponent. And now we can. I've actually tested this out as well. So if you try to normal summon Elite or the Gem-Knight that's on the field, it will still count as a special summon monster. So you can still use the effect to burn even though it was normal summoned this turn. When you special summon it, then you normal summon it, because it's still treated as a normal monster. It's still treated as a special summon monster. So now we use Lady Brilliant Diamond to send the Lady Lapis to summon out a Master Diamond. We're going to do the same thing like we did in the last video, last replay, and banish the Lady Lapis to gain its name and effect. So now we're going to use the effect of Master Diamond via Lady Lapis effect to send a Lady Lapis from our extra deck to the graveyard to inflict 1500 points of damage. Now we're going to use Gem-Knight Fusion to add back to a hand and banish a Gem-Knight monster. Doesn't matter what you add back, because you're going to OTK your opponent this turn. So now we're going to use Gem-Knight Fusion to fusion summon the other Master Diamond. Now we'll use Master Diamond to banish and inflict the last 1000 points of damage per game. So that's how you can perform an OTK with this deck via turn 2, if you open up a good hand. Now this is the video, this is the replay, sorry, I keep saying video. This is the replay I recorded that is very, very, very important due to the fact that if your opponent opens this up turn 1 and they go first, they can actually FTK you. So let's go into the video, shall we? No, video, replay, sorry, I keep saying video. So this was against standard AI, sorry about the standard AI, I couldn't do this in PvP because I didn't want to lose duel points and stuff. At least that's what I thought, but I didn't feel like this is the right right build for PvP competitively. So now we opened up Grass Ultrina, Supervise, which is very important, which is these 2 cards. If you open up turn 1, you literally win. And we open up Amber, which is like one of the best cards in this deck, and also a Lazuli to grab back resources. So if we use Grass Ultrina to mill out Obsidian, we can actually grab it back with Amber if we banish it using Gem-Knight Fusion if we milled it to the grave. So we're going to use Grass Ultrina turn 1 to mill out all 10 cards, sorry. So we milled out a Gem-Knight Fusion, which we needed, an Obsidian, which is needed, and other Gem-Knight monsters which are irrelevant, except for this one. This is actually very irrelevant, but it doesn't matter if you mill the Lapis or not, due to the fact that you can actually get around the OTK FTK via you don't have to actually have a Lapis in the grave, because you have a Lady Master Diamond. You can actually, if you can send one of your fusion special summon Gem-Knight monsters on the field and send it to the graveyard and summon out Lady Lapis from the extra deck, ignoring its summon conditions. So that's another way to get it out without actually fusion summoning it first. So there are many ways to get Lady Lapis out. It just depends on how you milled and how you can play more stuff later on. So we milled out other Gem-Knights, we also milled that, which is very sacky, and that's good. We milled out now Amber, milled out all of our Gem-Knight fusions, which is okay because we don't actually need them in our hand due to the fact that we can actually use them in the grave. And we also milled out a Lazuli, which we can add back one of our our Gem-Knights to our hand, because they're all counted as normal monsters except for Obsidian. So we're going to use Lazuli to grab back Lapis. So now we have a material to use for Lady Lapis. So now we can use Gem-Knight Fusion to banish the Obsidian. That is very, very important, because we're going to use Amber. I think that's what I'm going to do with Amber. I'm not sure, I can't remember the replay exactly, but I think you use Amber to grab back the Obsidian, because you can send one Gem-Knight card from your hand to graveyard, which you can just use with Gem-Knight Fusion, and target one of your banished Gem-Knight monsters, one of your banished monsters, and add to your hand. So now, yeah, I'm going to use Amber. This is what I thought of when I played turn 1. So we're going to use Supervise, and we're going to equip it to Amber. Now we're going to discard the Gem-Knight Fusion to grab back the Obsidian to our hand. So now we're going to use Fusion to banish any Gem-Knight monster. It doesn't have to be Lazuli, it can be anything else. But you preferably want to use this as your second toolbox for Amber for later on in the duel, because you haven't normal summoned it yet, and you can actually use its effect later on again if you properly normal summon it next time. So now we have enough materials to go for a Gem-Knight Fusion. So we're going to fusion summon Lady Lapis by using the Amber on our field, and also the Lapis. Amber and Lapis to summon out the Lady Lapis. Now Supervise will trigger and summon out a Gem-Knight. So we're going to summon out Amber again, and now we're going to use Fusion to grab back, banish one of our... So now, after we banish one of our useless ones, we grab back the Gem-Knight Fusion to our hand, and then we'll use the Gem-Knight Fusion to fusion summon Lady Brilliant Diamond from our extra deck onto the field. So now we're going to summon out Lady Brilliant Diamond, and use the 2 materials that we send to the graveyard to activate their effects. So this one, Lazuli will add back a Gem-Knight monster that's normal from our graveyard to our hand, and also a Obsidian to our field. So Obsidian will activate, and summon out a Gem-Knight. And now we're going to grab back the any of our Gem-Knight monsters. This is very, very important due to the fact that we can use a Gem-Knight Fusion with less materials. So now we're going to use Lady Lapis effect to burn for 1500. Now we're going to use Lazuli's effect, since we've sent it to graveyard, the Lady Lapis effect, to add back a Gem-Knight to our hand. So now we're going to use Gem-Knight Fusion to banish and add back a card. So this specific hand, this is an FTK hand, very, very specific, due to the fact that we have now more materials in our hand, and we can actually do another 1500 points of damage. So that stacks up to 4500 points of damage in turn 1. So now we're going to use Lady Brilliant Diamond to summon out Master Diamond, and use Master Diamond's effect to copy Lady Lapis effect, and now we're going to use Lady Lapis effect from Gem-Knight Master Diamond to send a Lady Lapis from our extra deck to the grave. Now we have one more promization, it's still promization. We still have one more Gem-Knight Fusion in our hand to fusion summon the last Master Diamond. So what we're going to do here is use Gem-Knight Fusion and fusion all these 3, and summon out a Master Diamond. Now Master Diamond's effect will trigger, no, not trigger, but we'll use Gem-Knight Master Diamond's effect to banish the Lady Lapis from our graveyard, copy it, and burn your opponent for game exact, since it's not once per turn, and we can actually defeat them turn 1. There we go. And yeah, how consistent is this deck, to be honest? Not very. You can actually run this with 2 different skills. You can actually run it with sorcery, spell specialist, or you can use it with restart. There are 2 different ways to actually do
Leave
this.
it to bones to haunt your nightmares.
So this is a deck I used for the restart deck. So this is the deck I used. I've been experimenting with different versions of the FTK OTK ones, and this is the deck I used for the FTK/OTK. So we have 3 Obsidian, 3 Lazuli, 3 Eolite, 3 Amber, 3 Sardonyx, 3 Lapis, free Supervise, free Gem-Knight Fusion. The Hate True Nates were here just in case I go second, so I can just OTK my opponent. But in reality, you don't really need this. And this is Grasslock Arena. You run Freelet and Treacherous Trapple in case you're going second and stuff. But if you use Grass to mill out the Treacherous Trapple, then it won't work. We also have Lady Brilliant Arm. You only run it once, so if you pull one of them from the pack, then that's fine. We also have Master Diamond and also Lady Lapis Lily. These two are required as a 2-ops because Master Diamond, you have to summon out 2 Master Diamonds. Also, you can actually future summon with Lady Lapis Lily, so you need 2 of each to do the FTK / OTK. Now with Spell Specialist, this is a unique skill where you can actually open up your spell cards much easier. So I've looked at different versions of this, and someone made a. I was looking this up on YouTube just recently. I think it was what's his name? Yu-Gi-Oh! Someone, I forgot the name of it. Hold on, let me just double check the name. Forever Lone Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the one I saw him upload just recently. So I kind of based one of them off his.
This episode, Guns finally picks up his.
I'll just close that for a sec. No, that's the version I made. This was his version that he made. At least he got what he got off. So with this build, there is a different type of build as well. So you can run the Block Golem, Alexandrite just to get out your Lapis or Crystal easier. And this one I do not like. I don't think this is a good card in this deck. I probably would take it out. Using DDR is actually a pretty good idea just to grab back your other stuff, but it actually works well when you're summoning out your your Lazuli when you banish it. But it also works bad. This actually works pretty well during later turns when you're summoning back your Lady Lapis when you banish it with Master Diamond. So yeah, there's plenty of other ways to do it. And also, this is the build I encountered in PvP. Surprisingly, it was actually pretty good, but it wasn't really the best. So whoever this guy was, I versed, kudos to you. And he ran Destiny Draw. Now, Destiny Draw is actually a really good skill for this, due to the fact that you can actually draw your Grasslock Arena from taking a lot of damage. So you take one hit and make sure you don't get destroyed, and you can go off from there. So this person ran free Obsidian, free Lazuli as usual, the main ones. He also ran Sardonyx as well, and these are vanillas. I don't know why he only ran two Lapis, but I guess it's more bricky in a way. Maybe, I don't know. Free Supervise, Gem-Knight Fusion, this is why I got an idea for Supervise. Grass, Enemy Controller. I'm guessing these were just for in case he didn't want to get OTK'd. And for some reason he only ran one of each of these things. For some reason. And also, this is the build I came up with that is probably the most consistent in a way. But it's also, it's consistent yet it's not consistent. I don't know, it depends. Depends on how you open, like all FTK double decks. So I ran free Obsidian, Lazuli, Eolite, Amber, Sardonyx, and Lapis. So these main 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are your 3 main cards you want to use most of. I don't know. Use it a lot. And you run DDR, free Supervise, and free Gem-Knight Fusions, free Grasslock Arena, and White Elephant's Gift. The reason why I'm running White Elephant's Gift is due to the fact that if I have one of these vanillas in my hand, I can just use I can use White Elephant's Gift to draw 2 cards from normal summoning. So it allows me to set up a Gem-Knight in my grave, and also if I draw a Grasslock Arena from my 2 cards I drew, I can use it and mill out my entire deck. But sadly, I think that will mill only 8 cards, but you have your 2 cards in your hand. So technically you did mill 10 cards in a way, but you have the other 2 that were sent that usually are normally sent to the grave are actually in your hand instead. So you have more resources, and yet you don't in the grave. But yeah, and you run the basic extra deck lineup. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion video for Gem-Knights and their FTK potential. OTK potential. Now, is this deck going to get hit on the FTK OTK list? Forbidden Limited list. In my opinion, yes and no. It depends, because if you brick, but then again, that didn't stop the Plant FTK for Duel Links. The burn. What was that? What was that one? I forgot. It's limited 2. Limited 1 now, I think. Or was it 2? I can't remember. It was that Plant. I forgot the name. That Plant FTK. Basically, you just keep using quips and just burn your opponent 500, 500, 500 until they lose. But this is just a straight up 1 FTK kill, and requires you a bit of setup, but it, depending on skill versus the player, it's more preferably you know what you're actually doing with this deck, because it requires a bit of setup, and it's very important that you do your setup properly, and also if you don't mill the correct cards, you lose. So it's a bit of RNG, gambling luck in a way, but if it goes off, then well, good game to that person. So yeah. This is the deck that I use. But if there was a specific hit to the list, I wouldn't. If they were to hit grass, I don't think that's a good idea, because grass, yes, it's okay, even though it's a bit sacky. If they're following like the TCG and OCG, then yeah, hit grass. It might slow the deck down. It will stop these ones from appearing. But limiting it will not do anything, trust me, because they will just use Destiny Draw. Since we don't have Destiny Draw in the TCG OCG, since it's a game skill, we can Grass and Green is still more reliable, more easy to get. It will turn to an OTK rather than FTK, so that will stop it. But if you want to hit the deck hard, you hit one of these 2 cards specifically. If you hit Master Diamond, yeah, it kind of does stop it in a way, but if you hit Lapis Lazuli, actually, yeah, I think the problem with the deck is if you hit Master Diamond to 1, yes, you can actually stop the combo immediately, but you will still do round up to 1500. No, you still do around 3000 points of damage, but it's only on 1 turn. So hitting one of these cards is important, yet it's tricky due to the fact that if you hit one of these, this will go off. So you have to hit both of these just to stop the OTK FTK. But since we're at a limited list in particular, hit these if you hit both of these to 1, then they can't play both. You can't perform the FTK or OTK if these 2 get limited. So that's what my opinion is for this deck to stop the FTK OTK. But yeah, leave your comments below and rate, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion video. See you guys next time. Bye.